My peoples, we are back for another one. Welcome back to another edition of the Exponent Podcast. I am your host with the most, Larnell Walker, back with the God himself. XL is in the building. What's
You
up,
already
brother?
know we in the building. We chilling, man. We good. How you?
Man, living life, man. You know, got more of the Cubs at the house with me. Went out with the family last night and celebrated a dope black event out in Taunton, Mass. Called the Sneaker Ball. So, you know, we had a good time. It was people
The
dressed up.
sneaker ball. Speaking of the sneaker ball, did you see the man? Did you see Donald Trump?
Oh, listen, I understand. Yeah, we got. Oh, you know what? We're gonna pull that one back. Yeah, we definitely gonna pull that one back. We're gonna peel that later
Did you
back.
see my son with the golden shoes?
He's outside, bro. He's outside.
He's outside, man.
There's nothing we can do about that. So yeah, man, just had a good night, man. You know, being out with the misses and the girls, man. It was a beautiful event. Shout out to Taunton Diversity Network for putting on an absolutely super dope, classy black event. They even had the mayor there. They had the lieutenant out there. You know what I'm saying? They had state representatives. They gave out community awards, all that good stuff. And you know, I know April Funches personally. Like, you know, from all the work that we did, we both were a part of that alumni. They got the Black Excellence Award from the state, or whatever. So I just want to shout her out as a woman of color in our community, really pushing the foot forward and making it happen, because she came out of a career, you know, working in the law background, and then she stepped into her community more than what she was doing. So shout out to that. But yeah, that's what I've been up to, man. And you know, the other shit I always be up to. How's shit been with you since we last spoke?
You know, same shit, man. Making it happen. In the gym, training. You know, doing what we do. Regular shit.
Correct. So for our people tuning in today, man, we got a good show for you, man. We had a good conversation. And we want to bring some of that conversation here to the pod. I'm just going to pull us up on the screen real quick so you can get a little glimpse of what we got going on. Yeah, correct. Per usual for us, right? Right. So, you know, this is some of the things that we'll be talking about today. We're going to start off with, you know, men talk to who? So, so, you know, me and him been kicking it back and forth, and like we're of the regard of like, yeah, we understand that like society wants to or likes to say that they want to hear more from men, but a lot of folks fail to understand that then when men try to tell you what it's like for us when we do talk about these things, that we're instantly rejected, shunned, or told, you know, any kind of narrative you can think of other than what needs to be done, which is to actually listen to us about what the things that we're talking about. So, you know, I want to dive deeper into that and just get your thoughts on that overall, about like, you know, where we are in the state of affairs of men. And then we'll talk about like some of those dynamics and why so many men are clearly checking out, man. Like they're just literally committing suicide at this point.
I feel like
we have to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like when it comes to men, a lot of people deal with men from a space of ideals, right? Especially like women, right? Jay Will, what up? Especially like women. a lot of women, because again, niggas on the internet, when they talk about women, they know that niggas be looking for this perfect woman that they never gonna find. And if you're a real nigga, you know that. You know that the chick that you deal with or you're never gonna meet the girl that hits. Let's say you have 100 marks. You ain't never gonna meet the shorty that hits all 100. But if she hit 85, 90, she good, right? But I think women feel like they deal with men from this space of ideals, right? Like, you ain't never been around no men to know how men should act. You're not a man, first of all, so you wouldn't even know what comes with being a man. You, just like me, have never seen a positive male to woman relationship. So you don't know what a man would do in certain situations. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? If he was a real man, he would have did. That's not necessarily true. What you're saying is your ideals. You're saying what you would want a man to do for you in that situation. That doesn't make him real or fake. Right? You're saying, yo, what you should say is, this is what I would like from a man, instead of saying, if he was a real man, he would do da 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 da. Because at the end of the day, we could say the same thing. If you're a real woman, you would do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times people deal with, even us, we deal with each other like men are not, we're not taught to be vulnerable, right? We're just not. It is what it is. Like, nigga, I lived in the same, I had sisters. I got a sister, so I lived in the same house, nigga. If I fell, it was get up, suck it up, take it like a man. My sister fell, it was, oh, come here, kiss the wounds and shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? I grew up in that. So that that teaches you already to internalize. You can't cry, you can't be in pain, you can't be frustrated. The only emotion we're allowed to really express is anger, like be mad. And then if you be mad, they label you as the angry nigga, and then it's still so. A lot of times, men don't know what to do. You don't have nobody you can talk to, dog. You can't call nobody and be like, "Yo, fam, shit is fucked up. I'm going through X, Y, Z." If you do have them people in your corner, that's cool. But a lot of times you don't. So a lot of times you see men commit suicide or check out because they have a lot of things on their shoulders and they don't have nowhere to dump that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't really tell your girl what's going on, because if you tell your girl, like, it's fucked up to say, but a lot of people will only care about what's going on with you when it affects them, right? Like, you could be fucking depressed inside, feeling like the slums, but as long as you hitting your marks, you seeing Shorty every day, you hugging her, kissing her, da 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 da, she's getting all her needs met. She don't give a fuck how you feel. She won't even ask, because she'll assume, oh yeah, nah, he's doing everything. That's why when most men commit suicide, like you got, what's the dude that was on Ellen, the DJ dude, I forgot
Yeah,
his name.
yeah, the DJ. Yep, I forgot his name too.
He committed suicide. And
Apologies.
everybody was like, oh, such a happy man. No, he wasn't. He was just going through the motions because we men. That's what we do. We go through the motions, nigga. I know how to make it look good. When this camera cut on and you see me up here podding, you don't know what the fuck my day was like before this camera cut on. I know how to the camera cutting on might be my escape from the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you see Robin Williams, he was a comedian. His job was to make people laugh. So he didn't even have nowhere to dump that shit off at. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times men are judged by the external, like, because we present that way, but also too, like, I think that a lot of times, like, they have this thing called mansplaining. I don't know what the fuck that is. I was
Me
told
neither.
it's I was told it's a man explaining something to a woman and making her feel dumb. But I get the parts where you don't never want to make anybody feel dumb, but if I have to explain something to you, then I gotta explain something to you. What makes you above reproach that you don't have to listen to me when I tell you something? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it goes. Like, you
I
understand
think
what I'm
that
saying?
like we live in this space where like folks are having a really hard time contextualizing learning new concepts, but also being able to confound that with nuance and understanding that people are nuanced. And when we're dealing with a lot of people that have these ideals, it's funny because we have a lot of people with more ideals of what they want out of people that they don't
Right.
reflect in themselves.
It's a fact. And
So
the ideal shit,
a lot of this conversation gets lost in the sauce because now it turns into a battle of like, I'm like, let me give you an example. I've been married for a while, and we still go through this. We still struggle with this. Where sometimes if I do need to present a problem, it's taken differently because I'm also known as the problem solver. So if
right.
I'm the problem solver 90% of the time, or I'm known as a person who like can solve my problems, not
Hmm.
necessarily yours, and I can solve yours too. I solve other people's too, but I'm just generally known as a problem solver. Who does the problem solver go to when they don't have an answer?
That's a fact. That, and on top of that, like, everybody said they want communication, right? But the thing with communication, you have to set the table for the communication to occur. If I feel like I can't talk to you because I done watched you spaz out on everybody that you communicate with at some point or another, or me and you done got in a screaming match because I communicated some shit to you, or whatever in general, if I feel like I can't speak to you, I'm probably not going to. If I try to tell you something and me telling you and in me telling you something, you take what I'm telling you is like if I'm telling you I feel a certain way and you're taking it and being like, well, nigga, that no, you don't, nigga, that well, or well, I feel like this, and women go like, then I'm probably not gonna
And
talk to you about
it's like I don't think people understand this enough. And like, listen, if we understand, let me preface this with this, right? We've all had this conversation about society at a larger scale, and we've talked about people have their different triggers. We need to understand people's differences
it.
and what have you, right? But that seems to get lost in translation when you try to tell people, as a man, if you betray my trust, if I told any one person something that I trusted them with, and you betrayed that, I become a cave at that point. There's nothing.
Yeah,
I have
that's
nothing
a
for
fact.
you. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
it's even worse because sometimes people don't understand their lack of ability in friendship, that when men confide in you, when we actually do go there, we expect that shit to be Fort Knox unless we need it to be otherwise. And if it's
Yeah,
not that, or you weaponize us sharing our truth with you, we're like, we don't have any other recourse but to shut down, because we can't react violently if we want to maintain living in society and living free and being amongst our people. So we try not to do that, but then we
mm-hmm.
try to talk and that gets confounded. So all we're left with is remedial silence of being lost in silos. And now we're even in a space where men have a hard time talking to other men directly.
Yeah,
Men, in my opinion, men have become, generally speaking, more passive aggressive than they've ever been. And I mean that from the
right.
sense of just being able to have a conversation,
Or
being able to,
robots.
yes. And it's like it just becomes so automated at some point. And then
Yeah,
you get faulted for living through your truth. When I tell people that I don't have people that I go to or lean on or what have you, I'm not saying that as a badge of honor. I'm telling you my reality. And you can't
yeah.
gaslight my reality.
That's
You have to
yeah.
be able
I
to
don't.
parse with that and be able to
Yeah,
help me work around
facts,
that. But when you try to
facts.
gaslight my reality and tell me, oh no, you have somebody you can talk to, I'm telling you, absolutely not. Who can I can go to a therapist, right? But what is good? I need this. What does this therapist can tell me about these textbook contextualized things about dealing with trauma, but doesn't know trauma.
Yeah, and on top of that, nigga, I already know in my life I've been through some shit that's realer than a lot of the therapists that I meet. You understand what I'm saying? The shit I seen in my life, nigga, not a lot of human beings have experienced that shit, far away or up close. You
And
understand what
sometimes we
I'm
can
saying?
only learn from people who have experienced a level of
Right.
trauma with us as men. As men, I can't speak
Yeah.
for everybody else,
Because
but
men
as a
are
certain cloth of men that come through a certain level of violence, bro, we can only relate to other men that understand and feel that depth of pain and void that we felt.
yeah, because at the end of the day, like you said, like if I trust you with some information, right? If I First of all, 9 times out of 10, if I confide in you, I'm not looking for you to solve my problem. I'm probably going to
No,
solve the
correct.
problem. I just need to get these emotions out the way first.
Yep.
And then once I get these emotions out the way, I can go I can go ahead and solve the problem in whatever manner that I'm gonna solve the issue. But I just gotta get this emotional whatever shit out the way. Right. I think a lot of times, like if you want somebody to be and then also too, you say you want somebody to be vulnerable and share what's going on until they say something you don't like, right? That's not real. If I go, yo, we got issues. What's up, man? Tell me what's going on, yo. And I tell you, yo, I don't like this, that, this. And you do this. It makes me feel away. You can't shut me down. If you don't want me to shut you down, you can't shut me down. It's not a thing. It's not. That ain't how it goes. You know what I'm saying? And almost damn near like if I come to you to confide in you, I really on some real shit. I'll be honest, nigga. Like there's be some points where I don't even really need a rebuttal.
I just need to get it off.
I just need you to listen so I can get my shit off. Then once I get my shit off, I will go back to being who I am, or go back. I don't really even need so like nigga, I don't need a solution. And I'm the type of nigga, if I need a solution, I'll go, yo, help me
I'm to
solve
tell
this.
you, correct.
Like you know
Correct.
the conversation we had about what's about to happen
Yes.
in May. I called you and said, yo, this is about to happen in May. Can you help me?
That's it.
That's it.
Correct.
It was no, I didn't call emotional, but if I'm in the emotional state and I'm getting
Which is
my
fine
emotion,
too. Which is fine too.
oh yeah, for
Because
sure.
we built that bridge where it's there, but generally speaking, we try not to do that because we understand. Again, as men, 9 times there are. Oh man, y'all ready? Because this is gonna get heavy. Sometimes, outside of being a man, women and children can have situations where emotions can affect the outcome. Men cannot. We go to court; it's a logical procedure. We have children; it turns into logic over everything else. When we're trying to raise our family, we have to be logical over emotional to make sure we're making the right decisions. When we're dealing with our loved ones, we have to be logical. Now, it doesn't mean that we don't have emotions not there, but we process that emotion and respond.
Yeah, I think what's the sentence? It's either in the Bible or somebody, my grandfather who studied the Bible said it to me a long time ago. He said men have to be careful so everyone around them can be careless. I have to be careful, like my wife, like you know what I'm saying? Your wife, your kids, my kids are oblivious. They nigga what? They don't know.
Correct.
They just go to
and
the
we
fridge.
counting exits. We counting exits.
My kids just go to the fridge, shit is there. They don't know how the fuck it's there. They flick the light, the shit turn on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, your wife or your girl might be privy to some of the moves you make, but she don't know every single she don't know every single move you make or everything you're thinking or how you line shit up. She's unaware. Like you already said, when your girl was in the spot, you done spot out the exit. She don't know. She's like, oh, I'm going to the bar. You know what I'm saying? She focused on the menu. You done fucking plotted out the whole scene, nigga. So we got to be careful so everyone around us can be careless. So everyone around us can move freely because we set the parameters. It's like, yo, all right, in this box, you can do what you want to. I'm gonna guard the perimeter of the box, but I'm gonna make sure in this box you can do what you want to. There's nobody.
Let me add to that, right? So when we talk about our experience as men, we're talking from our experiences. This is not putting all other men into a box because there are some men that have become good at communicating. But what you have to understand is, as men, right, when you're talking to us, one of the worst things you do is use this other person that doesn't have my experiences and my trauma as an example to me to be a better communicator. That man may not have been through the trauma that I've been through. That man may not be holding the things inside that I have to repress. I've been married, and there are things that I will never tell my wife about my past. Never about some of the street dynamics because I'm not. A couple of reasons. We don't like from men like us. We don't like burdening people. That's another thing too. Like if I tell you something going on with me, I feel like you're burdened by it. Even if it's not, mentally, I'm telling myself I'm burdening you, and it's hard. So I've gone through therapy, and I tell my therapist straight up, we reach a point of the conversation where I'm like, and even some of my therapists are like, yeah, we've hit a point of trauma where it's like I'm not. And some therapists will tell you like I don't have solutions to that. All I have is conversation. All I have is the ability to talk it out with you.
Because
so some people sell correct. Some people sell therapy as an all fixed solution for things when that's not the case, guys. You run into some walls and experience some things in life that is hard for anybody to deal with.
Some shit there's no solving, right? So for me, I'm the type of person, if I know an issue that can't be solved or there is no solving is there, I'm like, yo, why would I even tell you that? Why would I even open up the fucking can of worms if we can't do nothing to put the worms in place? Like, there's no point. Like, there's no point in solving and trying to open up some shit that can't be solved. Now, when it comes to communicating, yeah, I can communicate, but at the same time, whenever I ask somebody to communicate to me, I take whatever form of communication they give me and I work with it. they can't communicate to the level that I think they should communicate, and if they don't, I don't call it communication. That's weird. That's not good. Right? You can't tell somebody communicate with me, and they go, all right, and then they take a step and go, yo, I'm feeling down. I don't know why, but I'm feeling down.
Mm-hmm.
That's communication, dog, because they didn't have to say nothing. They could have just faked the funk and been like, yep, I'm good, chilling.
I'm good. Yep, our typical statement.
So I can't say, yo. But then there's a lot of men that say that because if I tell you, a lot of men feel like, yo, if I tell you what's going on, sometimes it's something that it's a myriad of reasons. Sometimes it's something that can't be solved, like we said. It can't be solved initially, right? Sometimes it's something that can't be I don't know how you're gonna receive it. And then sometimes some let's just be real, some of y'all will spin what I said or spin what somebody tells you and make it about yourself.
Correct.
Like, and that right there will make somebody not want to talk to you at all. Like, if somebody's trying to level with you or tell you some real shit and you take it and spin it, oh, so that means do I do that? Like, nah, nigga. No. Like, obviously, even if you did, you ain't who I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, so a lot of times as a man, it's tough to find people to talk to. And when somebody says you have people that you can talk to, you have people that care. Like, if I'm telling you I don't, then I'm telling you I don't.
I'm telling you I don't.
If I'm telling
Like,
you I don't, then that means I've surveyed everybody. Because here's the thing, especially with me, I look at people in my life like chess pieces, and like everybody has a function, right? So if I'm telling you, I don't got nobody that I can go to like that, then that means I've surveyed the land already. And I see that, I can't really go to, because at the end of the day, yeah, we can talk and but nigga, sometimes getting it out is cool. But then there's times when you don't, like, sometimes the person you're talking to might not be the best person to speak to.
Sometimes getting it out blows up in your face, bro. And there's no crazier feeling.
You might be on some bullshit. You don't want to call your homeboy that be on bullshit when you're on bullshit, because then he gonna encourage your bullshit. Nah, yeah, bro. Nah, yeah, he was feeling like that. Fuck that nigga. Now he about to go do something stupid.
Correct.
Because you don't call the wrong homie.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Yeah. Now I've been through situations where I've told somebody how I felt about things they were doing or whatever, and that shit blow up in your face. Then it turns into an argument you wasn't even trying to have. Because you were just like, dog, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel about some shit, dog. Real shit. Like, at the end of the day, whether you change it or you don't, it don't make no difference. I'm just trying to tell you how I feel.
You bring me to the part where we get deeper on this and talk about the effects, because even though we're talking about this as two people that are saying we don't have people to really communicate with like that, like we formed a situation where we start to communicate like that. But even that comes with like the and we know, I'm saying this right now, we probably never said this before, but I'm saying it right now. It comes with a level of wariness. So now we got to get through like our level of wariness because of what we've been through and we trust each other to do 1000%. This, but now we're building that relationship to trust each other to talk about deeper things, right?
Yeah, 1000%.
And that comes with a level of trust that I appreciate, because I tell him that and he tells me that too. But it's hard, it was, I think one of the most important part is in the beginning when we first had a conversation, we talked about very clearly, because I think just like when you're trying to set a relationship, when you're setting up a friendship, or when you're setting up even family ship, like the people in your family, y'all should have checks and balances to say, yo, this is the expectation that comes with being a friend with me. Like,
yeah, I think a lot of people don't do that. That's the crazy part. Like, I think a lot of people don't. A lot of people go into relationships, friendships, and they don't tell people like, yo, I don't fuck with this. I don't fuck with that. I don't rock with this. They just I don't know if they expect the person who's a friend to know by osmosis or whatever. But like, yeah, sometimes you got to set that clear boundary. And it's crazy because I was just watching Joe Budden podcast, and he asked the ill question, like, when do you hit the update button on your friends? Because I
Correct.
know I got friends
Correct.
that still know me from the hood, and when they see me, that's what they talk about. Yo,
That's
nigga,
all they
you
talk
was,
about.
and I'm like, dog, I am far removed from any of that shit, bro.
Correct.
You gotta come get you gotta relearn me, get to know me, nigga. Hit the update button because the nigga you're talking about, yeah, he's still in there, but nigga, that's back there.
Way back. Correct.
You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
So the outcome of what that turns into, because now we have to get real. Like people like to talk about the emotional state of what's going on with men, but now we have to talk about the statistical state of what's actually happening in the world. And this article I found, because I was looking up the stats. We've been talking about this like every week, pretty much, behind the scenes. But we wanted to find the right time to bring it up on the pod, and I thought this was a great one because we're doing this episode about ego check. And one of the biggest parts about ego check is understanding when you hit your wall. And this is why we are starting this podcast and trying to get us to be able to communicate, not just me and him, but just generally speaking, people in general, to have these kind of conversations, because of the fact that we are at the highest suicide rate in 80 years, ladies and gentlemen. Right. The highest suicide rate since 80 years. And mind you, this article came out in November 29th, 2023. But check this out. I'm not going to put you through all of this. Let's just go down here and look at this beautiful graph, if I can get it to stay still on the screen for a second. All right. So if you're looking at this graph, you see World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II, and the Great Recession.
Mm-hmm.
We are almost on par with the numbers of World War II at 15, and we're at 14.3. But if you look right below that, the breakdown of suicide rates in 2022 by gender, let's just take a look at that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a question. So to act like men are not suffering, hold on, let me just pull that. To act like men are not suffering is just ridiculous, and this is why we can't keep having a situation where we're in silos and we're not able to speak to each other.
We got the bots in here. Got the bots. That's how you know you're lit, when you get the bots.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So again, looking at these numbers and understanding where we are right now, it's a little troubling, because especially when you're raising sons in a society that you don't. Okay, fine. I'm turning 39 this year, and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to, like you said, upgrade my friends, update my friend pool. That also was hard, because you have to shed some of the people in your life that were there, and that 100%. Comes with like, there's no such thing as amicable breakups in this climate, even if it's friendships. You know what I'm saying? People take it away if you just stop being around, and you don't even want to just be like, yo, it's not necessarily that your lifestyle's negative for you, because it might be working for you. If you think it's working for you, cool, but it's not working for me, bro.
It's just I can't subject myself to that type of shit, B.
Correct. So it's like, how do we keep having these conversations where the idea is to keep attacking men and giving shitty men all the fucking highlights, all the fucking screen time, all the red pill conversations, and we're not focused on good men every day that are suffering, that are taking their own lives because they're oblivious and not seen and not even heard.
No, it's just like the motherfucking, like you said, it's the red pill, small amount of dudes that every time I see a TikTok or Instagram, it's some weirdo nigga that in reality, like it's some weirdo dude that reality nigga, like, I would never like dog, I wouldn't even talk to this nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's always some weirdo, like, inferior nigga, and then there's a bunch of woman comments. under the shit like, see, niggas is like, see, all you men are bad. All you men are, yo, listen, man, homie that's talking, we can see through him. Like, what's the homie, Derek Jackson? Remember Derek Jackson? The nigga that was shitting on all the men, and then it came to come to find out he was cheating on his wife.
Correct.
And had mad relationships. Dog, that shit is see-through.
Correct.
I can see through, like, so it's always, every time I see a TikTok and they posting some dude, it's like, dog, this dude, among other men, ain't even he ain't even high ranking. He don't do no work. This nigga don't put, you know what I'm saying? He ain't physically fit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't saying, he's just pandering to ladies. It's like the weakest way to get, it's like the dude who like just agrees with the girl to get some ass.
Correct. Yeah.
It's like, nigga, that's the worst. Those are the worst type of niggas to me, dog. Like, cause you don't really feel like that, bro. There's no way you feel like that.
No,
so every time I see a TikTok or a Instagram meme or some shit like that, they're always promoting some weak ass dude. Like, this nigga, like, and like, if you put that man amongst men, he's gonna cower. He's gonna fade to the back. He's not gonna be somebody that's looked at as like a leader. He's not gonna be somebody that's looked at like, yo, this guy is a real person. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they love panderers, and that's just the truth. Everybody loves panderers. Like, women call them pick-me's. There's male versions of pick-me's.
Correct.
Niggas that just say anything, you know what I'm saying? That would just, well, all men, you guys should, blah, blah, blah. Like, dog, every one of them niggas have some sordid shit in their past. Or they not treating the shorty that they with right. Derek Jackson shitted on niggas for years.
Correct.
Boom. Then he got caught cheating on his wife. Everybody shits on Kevin Samuels because he was telling women what time it was. But what people don't know is Kevin Samuels existed 4 or 5 years before he got famous, but he was just shitting on dudes.
Correct.
Right? He was just telling dudes, oh, you want this type of woman? Well, nigga, you better work. If you don't work 60, 70 hours, nigga, you ain't doing your thing, nigga. If you don't got this, that, and the third, you ain't on your shit, nigga. If you ain't leading nobody, if you ain't physically fit, you ain't this type of man. You got to relax. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody says shit. As soon as you start telling ladies the same type of shit.
Ooh. You bring me to the next segment, brother. We're going to start on the next one, which is accountability. All right. So we just talked about men talk to who, and as we surmise, some of us have nobody to talk to unless we learn to talk to each other that have had some relative space.
Fucking self,
yeah, correct. I tell people all the time, when I wake up in the morning, I'm having a bad day. I start by going in the mirror and I literally tell myself, "Don't be a bitch today." And then I get about my business.
All the time, real shit. I tell people all the time, if I get aggravated, somebody piss me off, and I say I need a minute, and people be like, "Why?" Like, because I'm having a conference call,
full conference call. Yeah,
five niggas is talking right now. Like, should we do this? Nah, we should do that. Nah, check this out. We go over here. Facts. Nah, I feel like this. If this was over here, yeah, I'm having a conference.
Facts.
It's a real live conference call too. It ain't no bullshit. That's a fact.
But now you brought us into the space of accountability, and we had this great conversation yesterday about accountability prior to the show. Mm-hmm. So when we're talking about the whole Kevin Samuels thing, or we're even talking about other, I won't go as far as thought leaders. I would say dialogue leaders in a sense in a lot of these spaces. And one of the things that seems to be running rampant across the board is like all of these people are great at talking at each other about how they feel about the opposite sex. But what's really crazy to me is that there is a lack of accountability for everybody's self. So it's like, how do we help people understand the difference? And then let's talk about accountability, like from the concept that you talked about yesterday, because I thought that was very, very important.
Oh, so accountability to me is owning up to what you do, right? So or being accountable for what you do, whatever it is, nigga. You throw the rock. If the rock break a window, you say I threw the fucking rock. Like, you don't throw the rock and hide your hand, and you don't do that. I was never taught to be like that. Like, you fuck something up, because here's the thing: we are all human. Nobody's perfect, so we're all gonna make motherfucking mistakes. So it's easy to just say, "Hey, I made a mistake," right?
Correct.
And if you're dealing with somebody, like, let's say me and you, our friendship, we known each other for a while, but we just really started integrating and dealing with each other. If I do something that's not right by you, right? If I do something that's not right by you, and you say, yo, my man, listen, I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't necessarily feeling XYZ. I gotta be like, yo, my fault. You know what I'm saying? This is how I was thinking about it. Cause nigga, I don't know you like the back of my hand yet. I don't know
Correct.
you to know your every trigger and every move. So me just doing something that's part of my regular, you're gonna make mistakes with people. You're gonna but own up to them shits when you do it. Yo, yeah,
Correct.
I fucked this up. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, that wasn't it, or whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, when you do that, one, it helps people, it helps you, and then it helps people be like, oh, this guy, he's not above reproach. If he fucks something up, he'll tell you he fucked some shit up. He's not gonna fucking play around. He's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? And then, but at the same time, if I do make a mistake by you, you can't force me to live in a perpetual state of sorry.
Correct.
Either. That's taking accountability to a whole nother level. If I fuck some shit up for you and I apologize and I go, yo, I fucked that up, I'll never do that again. My bad. Let that be that. I can't be sorry every day.
Correct.
I can't be sorry. Like, some people, if you do them foul, they want you to live in a perpetual state of sorry or sorrow and being sorry. And some niggas are still apologizing to their baby moms or their girl for some shit that they did 5-6 years ago that they don't apologize for. Nigga, I can't. How many times you want me to apologize? Right? I can't hang myself on the cross and, nigga, if I'm sorry, and then the whatever I did, the act that I apologize for, it never happened again, then I shouldn't have to keep apologizing for the shit. Because
and also accountability is understanding. If you forget, I don't care what it is. If you say I forgive you,
yeah,
then start the process to healing and forgiveness. Don't start the process of punity. Like, you're not. This ain't jail.
Yeah, this ain't punishment. Like, this ain't jail. And me saying I forgive you, it's not necessarily me saying I forget what you did. It's saying, okay, nigga, I see you made a mistake. I see you made the mistake right there. Boom. All right, nigga, we gonna chalk that up. That's water under the bridge. We ain't never gonna talk about that again.
Correct.
Not that I forgot. I seen it. Lord, filed it in my brain. But a lot of people use forgiveness as like Mike said. A lot of people use forgiveness as the cloud to hang over your head. They go, I forgave you, but you lucky I did. Like, then you should, if you feel like I'm lucky you forgave me, then you should have never forgave me, because forgiving me means you're actually past it. You're over it. Like, you're nigga, or you are to a place where we can move forward.
You're starting the healing. Yeah, at least starting the healing.
You can't start the healing while you're still hurting. It's impossible, dog. Like, it's impossible. Like, you can't, it's impossible. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, you can't make, that shit's not fair to the person who is trying to be accountable. Like,
correct.
Because accountability is just a word to some people. So, like, some people never face it.
And like, this is what I mean by, like, living and being an example and embodying that, right? So when we're talking about accountability, and what you said before is, it's like, yo, one of the things that people don't understand about accountability and admitting your faults and fixing them, the key is fixing them after you admit it, right? Is your ability to talk about things that you normally wouldn't feel like. And that was a part of, like, the from the first segments, talk to who. Well, sometimes when you do figure out certain things that are going on in your life, some of those conversations is not for a therapist. It's for the people that you might have wronged and you need to talk to. You feel what I'm saying? This is my son Amadeus. I just asked him to come up for 2 seconds. He wasn't too cool today to not come up and say hello. But this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about when I say extreme accountability. My son is grown. He grew up in a different situation than my daughters have. Now, I'm thankful for my daughters and the fact that they've had the father that they've had. But my son went through a different experience, and my son, he you know, we separated when he was young, but that's a different experience. Yeah, but the one thing I've never hid from him, I don't talk about his mom's faults. But whenever there was a fault of mine, me being a womanizer, me being a person that wasn't accountable for myself, me being a person that was treating women like notches on my belt, I got it together for him. I got it together for them, and I tell them that. I want you to know the piece of shit I was, so you'll never, ever exist in that experience. Ever.
1000%.
Ever. 1000%. I still tell him now. He sees me doing great things. Sometimes it's weird to him too, because he's like, yo, I see my dad doing great things, but he talks like this with me. Because I want to give you the real world. As a young man, I want to give you something that I never had. I want to be able to apply something to you. Even with me having so much time away, whenever we get back together, whenever they're allowed to be in my grace, because I leave it in that space, whenever they're allowed to be in my grace peacefully, amicably, all I do is make sure that they understand I'm not going to be a piggy bank for you. Yes, I do have some things that I need to take care of for you in general, but this is not fun time with dad. When you come with me, we're going to read books. We're going to talk about business. We're going to talk about your dreams. We're going to talk about your aspirations.
100.
But
100.
That work that happened to him, that work that is going into him and his brothers, is because I went out in the community and started holding myself accountable too for all the damage and the havoc that I've wreaked in the community, for all the damage that I did to women in my life. I decided to get married, be loyal, been on that path, and I'm an extreme accountability person. Like you can tell that about me because we've been talking for a while, but like it's shocking to some people. And what people have to understand is when you become an extreme accountable person, you do not take people that don't hold themselves accountable.
Yeah,
and that's very hard and lonely road.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like accountability. Yeah, you're right. Accountability don't change the past, but accountability says, yo, I wasn't right in the past. That's all. And accountability, if you are being accountable with the hopes of being forgiven, your accountability is fake. Because some things you might not be forgiven about. It's to say, yo, I fucked up. I remember I went to an AA meeting one time, and the dude told his story where he fucked up his family. He was drinking, and he turned his life around. And there's some people that he did wrong by that will never forgive him. Even though they see him on a different path. It's like, salute, my nigga, I see you doing that, but I can't fuck with you. Right? He has to move. He has to move forward, though. It's like, all right, nigga, you see me, you don't fuck with, okay. Sometimes being accountable don't mean everything's gonna come back. Forgiveness don't mean everything comes back together. I can forgive somebody for what they did to me in a certain period of my life and never fuck with them again.
Correct.
And never put them that close or whatever the case may be. It doesn't like whenever I'm accountable for anything, I always tell the person who I did wrong, you can fuck with me or not. That's your personal choice, but I'm here to tell you I know in my heart that what I did wasn't right. So I'm here to tell you that I know that. Like, so when it comes to that, it's like when it comes to accountability, it's like, dog, you gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta be accountable. Some people never deal with accountability because they'll skirt by. Like, they'll find a way. Why'd you do that? I did that because you did this. Well, what are we, 12? Are we babies? If somebody say, why'd you do that? And they say, yo, I did that because you did this. I don't never move like that, but the only reason why I move like that is because I saw you do this, so I did it back. It's like, nigga, what are we, kids? That's to me, that's worse than a person who's just naturally doing shit. Because I'm just naturally doing what I'm doing. So that means you saw what I was doing, either stooped to my level or got vindictive and was like, oh nah, he's doing this, so I'm gonna do this back. Dog, we gotta grow up at some point. Like I said, being accountable don't change the past. It don't change the you can't nobody can change the past. There's no we no I don't have a I tell people all the time, I don't have a DeLorean.
Correct.
Nigga, if I did, I'd
Correct.
be fixing mad shit. I don't have a magic wand. I don't have a DeLorean. I don't have none of that. The past
And
is
to
the
some
past.
degree, like
I wouldn't. I don't think
this
I
is
would.
thank you. Yeah, this is the hard part, right? Because even though I'm extremely apologetic to my two kids' mothers before I met my wife, they to a degree there's things they're never gonna forgive. My two sons are 6 months apart, just to give you an idea. So like this is the
Right.
situation I was in. Then I stayed with one and had another
old
son with
Irish
who's the
twins.
common days you just saw. Correct. Had good old Irish twins. I was outside, guys.
Call them
I was
the
doing
Irish
shit. I was
twins.
making more money. Than it was
Yeah, you
wild.
outside.
Like when I
That's
think
what
about
you
it, I
I
laugh.
was outside too. My daughter
But it was
Irish
also
twins.
wildly fucking stupid. Anyway, the point is even with me making progress, some people, because like even you have to understand this, because accountability doesn't mean people are going to forgive you. Accountability is not for the purpose of forgiveness all the time, because sometimes you can do things that cannot be forgiven. But accountability in yourself, let's say that person doesn't forgive you, that doesn't there go mean you continue to carry on with those
Hold on
actions.
for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. It's my landlord. Hold on.
Yeah. So if you're being accountable, you have to do it regardless of whether or not it mends this situation. You have to do it moving forward as well. It's important to understand that accountability has to be internally built to project it externally to the people that you want to affect moving forward, even if it can't keep those people in the past whole. We all go through our traumas, our pains, and we all deal with our triggers in our own ways. But the one thing that we do have control over is being accountable for ourselves. We can't always be accountable for others. Listen, my sons sometimes they be messing around in school. You know what I say to them? You know what's hard to say to them, but it's the truth, is I will tell you all the right things that you need to hear. You are going to choose whether or not they're going to listen to you, and that's going to affect your life. And that's all I'm leaving it at. Because you're a man.
Accountability is, see, here's the thing. Accountability is not for the other person that you're accountable to. Accountability is for you. Because only you sleep with you. Right? Like we can put on these fronts. Right? We put on these fronts. We big, we bad, we macho, da. But nigga, when you at home 2 o'clock in the morning and you looking at the motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? And you looking at that you gotta have them thoughts to get to going. Nigga, you know what's up.
So Mark, I think you just I probably just saw your comments late, but yeah, like I think that to a degree we just settled on like I can't change it. Like I can't.
I don't think it would. I don't think.
If I had to change this,
shit might fuck some shit up, man.
And like here's the thing too: changing anything means I love every single one of my 5 children. Changing anything means one of them doesn't exist in the self they are right now.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't change that for anything. What I would say is I'm glad. What I would say is I'm glad I changed, and that was the most important part.
Yeah, you change at the nucleus, the butterfly effect, right? You go back in the past and change something, then something might be different in the future. So
I would have never met my wife, who is profoundly one of the most communicative people I've ever met in my life. Who, listen, let me tell y'all something. When we come from where we come from, ladies, I'm speaking for me, maybe XL too, because we're similar in this regard. All that rah, nigga, we got that from our mamas, our aunties, our grandmas, our niggas don't respond to that. That's when it does turn into the stupid petty, like, whatever, da. This woman would say things to me, plain sentences. Shit would fuck me up. She would say shit like, I'm very disappointed in that.
Oh, fuck.
Now, hold on, bro. When I first heard that, I used to laugh. I used to be like, man, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Then I walk in the other room. I'm like, this bitch means she disappointed in what?
Disappointed. That's a different word.
I ain't never in my life. My mother never said to me, I'm disappointed.
Yeah, you used to fuck you, nigga. This shit, nigga, you whack.
So imagine just a regular sentence started to change how I started dealing with things. Because how can I? And then And then it's accountability check because you didn't say nothing wrong.
Or she hit you with that's unfortunate. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Ooh,
another one. That's
Ooh,
another. You
that's
say something how
another
you think about something, like that's what you think. Like, yeah, like that's unfortunate. God
Yeah, like,
damn it.
woo, you got that super ninja on me. So
She
again,
gunned
like
you
just
down
that
without gunning you down.
sometimes it's effective to think about in all of us the approaches that we take with one another and start to look at
Yeah,
people's conditions and
because
understand that they're not responding to that.
yeah, that Rob Trey. That's what. Yeah. You be thinking about that shit for fucking
Bro, deep
weeks, nigga.
had me
Driving in your
fucked
car
up.
outside, fucked up. Because at the end of the day, that's how you do it, right? I think as men, we're like
I think
when
that
you
was
come,
super wiring. Yeah.
yeah, when you come with the rah to a man, rah, fuck you, nigga, like, or you come combative, you're never gonna get your point across because we're used to combat. We are literally wired for it. So when you come
And
at me in combat mode, like I'm already defensed up. Yeah,
and
listening to
cheat
old
code.
song, listening to Carl Thomas and shit like that, nigga. Fuck your whole day up,
Facts.
nigga.
And cheat code. Just so you know. No form of yelling at us we take as tough. The toughest thing I got from a woman in my life who became my wife was a sentence. That was the toughest shit because actually that's so much more powerful. Because even with me being in my space, for her to just be like, that's disappointing.
Because it's shorty, right? So you rocking with shorty, and it's like, damn, I let you down. Fuck, pain. Like,
Pain, bro.
Get
Bro,
you right
I
in
was
the
in the
chest,
club.
man.
I was in the club the day after because this was when we was early on. I was, and you know, and like
Rob Trey, stupid. He said you got New Edition on repeat. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, facts. I was in the club, bro. I was in the club the next night with my boys, with Ace and everybody. Like, man, fuck all that, bro. Because we had just met really like that, and I'd never dealt with that. So I was literally trying to brush her off, bro. I'm in the club, in VIP, sitting there, 25 or some shit, sitting there, and like, yo, bro, niggas is trying to have a good time. I'm like, yo, bro. Mia told me she's disappointed, fam.
And all your niggas felt it too. Like, word, she said
Yo,
that.
deadass.
Yeah.
I thought they was just gonna clown, bro. My boy was like, wait, whoa. He called Sean over. Now 3 of us are sitting in the huddle trying to figure out how to not have this one person being disappointed. For all these other ones that called me dogs, niggas, all this, I didn't give two shits.
You gotta get that's when the gang get together. That's when the gang get together and start fucking like, you know, we got, listen. My man wifey said she disappointed. God, like how do we fix it? How do we together fix this? So my man, because I can't even party right now. I'm fucked up.
Not at
you know
all.
What I'm saying?
Not
you
at
drunk
all.
as shit. You can't even party because at the end of the day, when it's like, because all of the rah-rah shit, that shit don't do nothing. Like that being rah-rah, like niggas is used to that.
Correct.
And no form of yelling is tough. Not to me. A woman could yell, scream, yell. Nigga, you're a girl
even
still.
And no, let me take it even further. Ladies, men yelling at us is not tough.
Yeah, men yelling is like
any form of yelling where men come from a space of we understand dialogue can turn into action. So words are not irrelevant. Yeah. They're non-relevant to us. So if you're yelling,
3 minutes of talking, and then once
yelling is the equivalent of whispering some stupid shit at me. Like it's not even quantified. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel nothing until somebody touches me when we come from certain ills. So it's like yelling is just a waste of
once you hit me, then it's lit. But other than that, it's just like
this yelling shit. Come on, man.
Yelling shit is
well, now you just brought me into a dynamic because I think that goes both ways, and we can talk about this next one, which is to touch on hood PTSD.
Oh shit! Now,
all right. So let's talk about that yelling shit and all of that shit going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
What this really boils down to is the NIH. Let me just pull this up on the screen real quick so you can see. I'll be making this shit up. I like to bring the stats.
Stats.
You know what I'm saying? I like to bring it up so you can actually look this stuff up yourself and check it out. Right?
Niggas, you heard?
So if you check this out right here, the NIH. Let me roll it to the top. You see, NIH, National Library of Medicine, did a study on PTSD of people living in inner cities, specifically African Americans. There's a long study here. You guys can look through all of this, but let's just roll down to the part that really matters here. So basically, Approximately 1 in 3 people meet the criteria for PTSD that live in inner cities that are African American.
But yes.
And again, that's probably on the low end.
Because
so now
with them surveys, you got to take into account too.
Correct.
That's everybody that's ever been diagnosed. There's mad undiagnosed people running around.
Correct.
So if it's 1 in 3 diagnosed people, so imagine if they scaled everybody that lived in every ghetto in America, every inner city, what the numbers would look like.
So the reason that comes up, and real quick, I'm gonna pull this back up again because this is kind of a combo deal we're gonna have here with this conversation. We're gonna talk about the hood PTSD, but we're also gonna talk about it from the two-way street between men and women, because the PTSD isn't just one way; it's a two-way street. And the reason why it's a two-way street is because we can see the PTSD of our inner city dynamics and our inundation of social media dynamics and the conversations being funneled into these certain ways that it's projecting itself into our conversation and dialogue about each other. When you go into any space, and if you're generalizing an entire gender, you're an asshole.
For sure. Man or woman, you're a dick. You are an asshole, and you're short-sighted.
Completely.
You're basing, again, you're doing the ideal thing. You're measuring, first of all, you're measuring somebody up against your ideals. And your ideals, you have to know, are marks that are never going to be hit. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck who you are as a person. I don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna meet. It's just not gonna happen, bro. Like, no, like I could want a motherfucking Ferrari, but if I got a 2020 something Civic and it gets me where I need to go, fuck that Ferrari. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, I think that when you're measuring, when we get to the PTSD of the hood, right? Living in the hood. First of all, we got to realize that the hood is a small portion of the world. One.
Correct.
So everybody don't live like we live. But two, there's parts of living in the hood that, like you just said, rah-rah. So you're yelling at it. When you're yelling at a man or you're yelling at a woman, you're yelling at somebody that's been yelled at since they was 5 years old.
Period.
So their innate response to yelling is either shutting down or turning up. Because when I worked with kids in school, I've told teachers this. The way you talk to that kid, he's reacting to you because he gets yelled at by his moms at home. He can't do nothing to his mother. But when you start yelling and getting in his face and all this wild shit, you're triggering him back to Mom Dukes. And he's gonna take out everything he couldn't do to his mother on you. Because
people don't realize when you're dealing with that level of yelling and that kind of environment, your coping mechanism, you're saying men don't feel anything. It's like we had to learn that as children.
Yeah.
When you're hearing adults say things to you that they shouldn't be saying to a child.
Yeah. Or they let you
call a 5-year-old, if you're a parent watching this, you called your 5-year-old a no good nigga, anything like that, you're a part of the problem. Period.
Yeah. Or they shit like, you got a baby boy and you let other people and other women, even if you got a daughter, but if you got a baby boy, I've seen this a lot with women. They do this to boys. He's gonna break mad hearts. He's so handsome. He's my boyfriend.
Why are you doing
that? Stop doing that to that little boy.
Stop doing that shit.
Don't. And if you have little boys, do not allow any grown woman to call that boy your boyfriend. You are sexualizing a little child. That would be like if you wouldn't let a grown ass man call your daughter, that's my little girlfriend right there. You would never do that.
That ass buried. That nigga be buried on the
smoke.
Nigga, you just give me goosebumps by saying the sentence. Oh, nigga.
Right? Like, yeah, of course. They would, and then also too, the thing that, like, so with that, so even with Yeah, you're gonna grow up be just like your dumbass. Because here's what happens.
Oh man,
Here's what happens, right? Here's what happens.
you're
I'm gonna just
sowing
speak.
seeds, the wrong ones.
I'm gonna speak from a male standpoint. Your mom's is your first love, first person of the opposite sex that you love. Now, if you hear your mom say men ain't shit or your daddy ain't shit, you gonna think you ain't shit. It's just automatic because damn, my mother, the woman that she had me, and she don't think that I'm shit because I'm a boy, I'm a man. Well, she say men ain't shit, but I'm a boy, I'm a man, so she's not gonna rock with me. Like,
Now we're getting deep because this is
yeah,
one of the number one reasons why men from our community do not talk. Because a lot of us would have to have a conversation about our relationships with our mothers.
yeah, that's a fact too.
And niggas
That's
ain't trying to sit there and have that conversation. It's a
that's
hard
100.
conversation to have.
That's
Just like, listen,
100%.
people are comfortable with having the daughter-father conversation dynamic. But we as fathers, you have to understand, I mean, as men, you have to understand something. Our mothers, like you said, are the first opposite sex person that we learn to love and learns to nurture and love us. But at the same time, they're also sometimes, a lot of the times, the first person to degrade and disrespect us.
Oh yeah, a lot of kids, a lot of us, our parents was the first bullies we ever encountered. Right? Our parents was our first bully, right? So you can yeah, so like I love my mom. My mom's a
I love
dope
my
lady,
mom. I love my mom.
but my mom's is a tough lady. Like there was no
Yeah,
hugs and I love yous growing up in my
yeah,
house. There was none of that. You know what I'm saying? I knew my mom's loved me because of the things she did to take care of me, but it wasn't all flowers and rainbows and
correct.
that shit affected me to the point where now, like even now, like in relationships, like I'm not the super over affectionate type dude. Da, da, da. That's just me becoming affectionate over time is a learned behavior. It's not
Correct.
natural to me because I didn't grow up like that. Like I grew up
Correct.
like I see my mother come in the house. What's up, mom? How you doing? We don't hug. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like so
I didn't,
um
you know, again, I'm an extreme transparent person. I didn't I didn't know, like, all I knew was niggas coming in, niggas going out.
mhm.
She mad at niggas. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas help with the bills, some niggas don't. Some niggas, oh, I got a new brother. He's from another nigga who, whatever. That's all I knew. I didn't even know it was. Here's what I'm saying. I didn't even know it was wrong.
Right. Right.
That's what, like, I had to explain to my wife
Because
before
you
we were
have
married. I
you're
was
a
like,
kid, you
you have
have
to
no
understand
gauge.
everything that I've told you about me. I didn't know it was wrong because it was all around me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, it's just like growing up poor. Nigga, you didn't know. Niggas didn't know uh niggas didn't know
True,
we was
true,
broke.
Tatiana.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas didn't know we was broke. You didn't know you was broke. I didn't know I was broke till I went to high school and seen the rich kids. But when I was a little kid, like coming niggas didn't know we was broke because was everybody was poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm in the hood like you in the hood, nigga. Like, oh shit, nigga, your jeans is ripped, so is mine. Nigga, we eating the same cereal, nigga. Oh shit, you got food stamps, I got food stamps. It was that type of energy, B. So it's like when it comes to um when it comes to that, so yeah, I didn't think that was wrong either until I got grown. Like I didn't
And
because at the
I'm
end of the
and
day,
we're
you
not
have no
saying, like,
gauge.
because even our mothers, again, this is we talk about this. This is
It's all
eugenics. You
learned
know what I'm
shit.
saying? This is all genetic. So
Yeah.
even our mothers were not positioned in a place to have the healthy dynamics to understand what they were trickling down to us. But here's the beautiful part, and this is why I saw a comment earlier, and you're right. The kids would fold to that today, but they shouldn't have to endure it at all.
Yeah, they
That's why I'm
definitely
glad
shouldn't
that
have to.
we are in a space where we're having these conversations so people can actually, like, I hope there's a woman today that respectfully might be struggling with that dynamic of you've separated from a person you had a child with, but you have to learn to compartmentalize that experience to give that child a chance at
Yeah,
having a healthier dynamic than you had. Same for the fathers out there. You got to be
yeah, hell yeah.
transparent. if you was a piece of shit to that child's mother at that time, sure, you can be different now, but you're not a sponge from that time. And it's important and imperative that you give your child that experience so that they can grow from it. Because when we get to a space where we get too privileged and we forget, we niggas be acting like they wasn't teenagers all of a sudden. They wasn't outside all of a sudden. Everybody's in the church now. Like, whoa, time out.
Get
on
this internet and forget who they was.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta understand, like, and a lot of it, even if you hear this conversation and you think back to your parents, right? Sometimes you got to humanize your parents. That's how some people are carrying that trauma from their parents. I humanize my parents. Nigga, my mom's had me when she was 22. I think about when I was 22. I didn't know shit. There's no fucking manual that comes with this shit.
Correct.
There's no manual, nigga. There's no, when they give you a kid, they go, this is what you got to do. This is the, every generation does a little better than the last.
Yes.
You feel me? So it's like, your mom might feel like she did better than her mom. And her mom, and then it goes and goes, and then you feel like you did better than your mom. Now,
absolutely. You can see it in the tree. Yeah.
Your parents your kids gonna have parents, they're gonna do it a little better than you. Blah, 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 blah. So it goes forward. So I think that the PTSD of it, and if you was outside in the streets, you have another level of PTSD because we've seen things in the streets that I know I speak for myself. I've seen things just being around older guys
likewise.
And being around on hot blocks and wanting to be wherever the fuck the shits was. Nigga, I seen dead bodies and all type of shit by the time before I was 18. Like, what wild funerals and shit like that, to the point where now, if somebody, and this is gonna sound crazy to say, but it is what it is.
Brace yourself, because it's the truth, though.
Trigger warning. Like, how in my brain, if someone I know gets murdered, I can deal with that more than if they die of natural causes.
Correct.
Like, if somebody I know gets murdered,
I had that conversation with my wife, and she when I first met her, she couldn't quantify that because she's never experienced that much trauma.
Some people have never had to deal with their friends getting murdered, never looked at their friends in the casket, never seen none of that shit, never seen their friends' mothers cry, none of that shit like that. In my brain, though, that's just me. Like, if somebody gets shot, I go, oh, well, damn, that's fucked. Yep. I'll be sad, don't get it fucked up. But it's
correct. But it's like, another one.
That's the game, B. But if like one of my homies died from like heart attack, or nigga sick, nigga got cancer, I don't even know what the fuck to do. I'd be all fucked up. I couldn't even tell you how to maneuver, like, at the first thing to do. Like, damn, nigga, what the fuck? But if some street shit happened and one of my homies go out that way, I told you, my brain literally could relate to when Cameron said niggas get shot every day, B. Like, it's like, damn. Niggas get shot every day, B.
Why do you think niggas are so fascinated with that line? Because we know that that's a reality for a lot
like,
of us,
you tough, right?
Niggas but to lose my mans to diabetes broke me, bro. Like, damn.
Yeah, like, my mans have a heart attack, or one of my mans had an aneurysm. It's like, damn, nigga, what the fuck? How the fuck did that happen? Like, nigga, it's almost like we ain't supposed to go out that way. When it's something natural happens, it's like, we ain't supposed to go out that way.
It took me like 5 years to get my wife once again to understand. Listen, my wife rehabilitated me, I'm telling y'all. To understand that I walked around, so like, I had two responses to niggas getting shot. I was numb to it, and I felt like it was Final Destination. Like, all right, we getting closer to me. Because at that point, I wasn't not doing what I was doing. So it was like, all right, we getting closer to me. Now, niggas, understand something. Getting shot is the least of my fucking worries. I'm glad I've elevated to that space. You know what I'm worried about? My blood pressure. You know what I'm worried about? My sugar levels. You know what I'm worried about? The shit that I got friends dying from now. It's almost sad because I expected and I know you can relate this to a degree. Not expected to die, but the possibility was so high young that I haven't even had time to process being older.
Bro, this is real. Let me tell you something. Nigga, I'm 38. Right? I'm 38. You could ask me If you was to ask 16-year-old me, would I ever see 38? I'm not sure that I would say yeah.
I swear to God.
I never prepared for like, it sounds crazy.
Never prepared,
say,
bro. I never prepared to lose my hair.
I never prepared to be 38 years old.
Me neither.
That wasn't in the cards for me, nigga. That wasn't this whole living a long life and all that shit was not I wasn't prepared to be about to see 40.
Correct.
That wasn't so a lot of times too, that's part of the PTSD where you see niggas that are of a certain age and you think they're immature. It's not that they're immature. They didn't prepare to be this age that they are.
At all. At all.
Niggas wasn't thinking about being 35, 36, 37, 38 years old. Nigga, I was thinking about the next day. My life is literally day to day. Yup, went to sleep got up, went outside, made it back to my bed.
Correct.
Got up, went outside, made it back. That was literally, nigga, every time I go outside, my goal was to get back to the bed, nigga.
And I would argue that it stayed like that for me until I decided to move out of my city. Because I had to give myself a different environment where I didn't feel that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, like, dog, being
Bless Rob.
And I think a lot of people that come from where we come from, if they're honest about it, bro, like, they wasn't thinking about that shit.
No.
It wasn't. Now I got counterparts from all walks of life that I know. I got family, friends, people from all walks of life, right? So family, friends, and people from all walks of life, right? I know for a fact that some of my friends that lived on the other side of the tracks was well off, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck, they didn't grow up in the hood, wasn't around no hood shit. They prepared for 35, 36 years old. You could tell just by how they move. Like, nigga, they, you know what I'm saying? They bought houses when they was in their 28, 29 and all that. Like, nigga
hold on. Let me just give you one easy one for the niggas across the track. You know how these niggas was prepared to get old and die? They had life insurance, nigga. We didn't even.
Nigga, I didn't even get my license till I was in my 20s. This is what I'm trying to say. Because I wasn't even thinking about, nigga. I was just hop in the car and drive, nigga. I could drive like 7 years. I drove for like 7 years before I actually went and got my license.
That's a fact.
And it wasn't even because I had no shit on my record or nothing. I just was like, nigga, I don't need a license to drive, nigga. I'm out. I've been driving for fucking since I was 17 years old. I didn't get my license till I was like 25, 26 years old.
Yep.
So I was just, nigga, where we going? And I'm talking about not just driving around the hood, neither. I'm talking about head New Hampshire, back, fucking South Carolina, fucking wherever the fuck I needed to go. Nigga, I was getting there, nigga. No hesitation. We wasn't playing around with it. We wasn't. So I think that that's part of the PTSD that keeps you stuck or trapped in a little bubble, because it's like, yo, you don't prepare for being the age that you are.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. That's why I think a lot of the niggas from the hood have a level of quote unquote immaturity. But go and ask around. Ask niggas. I'm gonna tell you right now. Ask any of your friends that you know, like, yo, how old are you? Oh, you 40, whatever. Did you ever think you would see this age? The niggas gonna tell you no. Niggas don't even know what to do. Like, what's a fucking, like, nigga, that's why even something small like going out.
They don't, like, it's hard for people to understand that
where do the 38-year-old people go out at? I don't know, because I never thought about being 38. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct. And that's because everybody has to remember, like, go back and look. If you're a youngin' watching this, go back and look. If you're of the age bracket, just think about it. Think of it deep in your memory. What were we sold as young black men? We were told we were going to be dead or in jail by a certain age, and we believed it, fam, because it's all we saw around us.
It was to the point where if you didn't go to jail, like, you was whack a little bit.
Yeah, correct.
Like a word?
I mean, no, nigga, if you didn't even go to juvie, you was whack.
They didn't get you yet? They ain't get you yet. What the fuck is wrong with you, nigga? What, you out here snitching? What you doing? They ain't get you.
Yeah, correct.
It was like
and this is the mentality niggas got. Niggas have a mentality that their rap sheet is better than your freedom.
Yeah, it's ass backwards.
Woo!
Oh, all right, I got you. We go to dive bars and martini spots now. All right, I'm in there.
Yeah, correct.
Next time we
go to
I'm
comedy shows and shit. I be up in Rhode Island going to comedy shows and shit.
Yeah, next time, yeah, we in there. I'm in there. Day parties, because you know we can't hang.
That's a fact. Spa days, fam. 38
you know
years
we
shit,
can't
nigga.
hang, nigga. We
Spa days, fam.
We go to the party that start at 4:00. You know we can't hang.
That's bro, dead ass.
That shit start at 4, end at 9, and have a respectable night. You heard? But
so you bring me to the last little part that we're gonna talk about here. Let me pull this up real quick. We're going to throw these two together. So we're going to talk about opposites attract and modern friendships, because these two categories kind of go together here with the way that people are choosing, well, how we perceive people choose mates and friendships. And we talk about some of those differences real quick. So let's just talk about because we had this conversation funny on the phone the other day, and we was talking about like how it seems like so many people are looking for mirror or doppelgangers of themselves. And we believe that provides, one, boredom very quickly, and two, no growth. But I'm gonna let the God dive a little bit deeper into that.
All right, so everybody, I be seeing these memes about, again, I be seeing shit talking about if you want me to be feminine, you got to take me out of my masculine and all this other goofy shit, right? If you want a masculine man, you have to be a feminine person all day long, not all day. When you wake up to when you go to sleep, you can't walk up to a nigga or a masculine man talking about what's up, big dog, showing your masculine traits and expect that man to look at you.
Big dog.
Yeah, and expect that man to look at you because it's polarity. Relationships are built on polarity, opposite poles. So it's like, yeah, that's a fact that is true, Rob. But opposite poles, right? So you got masculine, you got feminine, and you got two neutral people. But the facts are that 80% of men are masculine, 80% of women are feminine naturally. At the end of the day, women, if you have to be masculine, you are going against your own nature. And the shit that you think makes you masculine, it doesn't. Going to work and paying bills don't make you masculine. Spending money don't make you masculine. Taking care of your house and your home don't make you masculine. That's human. You're a human being. In this world, in this economy, everybody got to work. That's just what it is. So if you come with that masculine energy, that combative energy, that energy where you want to be the top dog in a relationship, like, you ain't, number one, you always going to have the butt heads. At the same time, men, if you're going to be leaders of your relationship, you have to lead, man.
You have to lead.
You can't lead them nowhere. You got to lead. You got to, if she's letting you lead, then you have to fucking have a destination of where you're trying to go. And you got to tell her. A lot of times they'll be willing to ride. They just want to know where they're going. You know, women, they always want to know shit. So they just tell her, listen, this is where we about to go. We going over here. Okay, cool. They with that. So
I had a conversation recently with a young woman, and she was saying that and I get philosophically what the statement is, but one thing I give my mom know is like she was big on like, I am not your mother and your father.
Right.
Because I can't teach you nothing about that masculine male. You know, like, what am I going to teach you about that?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, anybody that say that, like, then this is not a knock on single mothers, because single mothers.
It's not at all. Not at all.
Great. They're wonderful.
You're fantastic. But you are a supreme mother, and that is beautiful in itself. Mother.
Well, I urge you to get, if you're raising a male, get some men around him. Whether
sports, get him around some good coaches,
a coach,
good mentors,
uncle,
correct,
mentor, teacher,
healthy men
that's gonna foster that, because you trying to be his mother and his father. That's where you fail at, because you don't know about masculine.
Especially
You know
Especially if
the
the father
ideals.
that
You know what you think a man
yes.
should do, but
Yep.
you don't know.
Yep. Especially if the idea of you, how you see masculinity and trying to be his father is a reflection of the man you don't like.
Yeah, or the man you think that it should be. You don't have a knowing of this, right? So I think that when we dealing with the poles, if you want a masculine man, you have to be a feminine woman. At the same time, it's vice versa. But men don't get to shut their masculinity off. We don't.
Also, whoa, slow down, because I know one of y'all probably watching tripping right now. Don't get the. Please understand that we are talking about masculinity in its purest form, not this bullshit red pill shit everybody's talking.
No, not this bullshit. I'm not talking about the bullshit.
We're talking about the man which
male.
we define. Yeah, correct. We're not doing the alphabet soup. I don't know why the fuck everybody keeps bringing up Greek concepts for everything. Like Greek everything, guys.
Alpha male,
Jesus
beta
Christ.
male. Yeah, if you study the Greeks, you should know why we should never use Greeks.
Like literally, bro. Like I'm so sick of it.
Them niggas was freaks, nigga. Them niggas was freaking off with each other. Like we not.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking that alpha male shit. I'm not talking that because at the end of the day, a man is a man, right? You know when you see a man what it is. You know. Women know innately, right? Women are I'm gonna just keep it real. Women are genetically wired to know. They know.
Everybody like this code ain't real, bro. They be acting like these genes ain't real, bro.
You know how I know? Like, you know how I know? Just from my personal experience, right? Women treat a lot of times I get treated differently than I see a woman treat the next dude.
Hold that thought. Bricks, I agree with you. And that's the thing. It's like the yin yang, as long as we understand, like if you look at the image of the yin yang, none of them are trying to bleed into each other's space. They're sharing and occupying their own space.
And strong and little dots there, but them little
literally
dots
like
are
the
little.
strong and weak force in physics, guys. It's literally like this shit goes all the way down to physics. The strong and weak force. Yeah, these are titles, strong and weak, but there are situations where weakness is the strength and strength is the weakness.
Yeah, because you can't bully everything. Some shit requires finesse. Right? Some shit requires finesse. Some shit requires a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, wiggling around or moving around. Some shit requires you, and then there's some shit that needs to fucking be bully foot. Nigga, you got to run through the situation. So I think
certain shit you got to run. Yep, correct.
I think that they work hand in hand. The problem is the internet shows you the extremes of everything.
Correct.
So you got the red pill dudes that these niggas ain't never got no shorties ever in their life, never got no girls. They was picked on in high school. They was the last niggas to get picked for the team. All of that shit. They get podcast mics and start talking to girls because they got money now. And the girls that they're talking to, they use it as like some hate revenge tactic. And that's all you see down the timeline. So that's girls think, oh, men hate women. Wow. I hate when women say that. Men hate women. How do we hate y'all? Everything we do is for y'all.
Everything.
You know why niggas get haircuts? Because women like niggas that's groomed. You know why niggas drive men drive nice cars? Because chicks like nice cars. You know why niggas get big houses? Because women like big houses and they feel secure in their big houses. Like, everything that men do in some way, shape, or form is either to attract, obtain, or keep a woman. So how can we hate y'all?
But that's the irony of it when I'm looking at this, because it's like everybody's always trying to escape their culpability in this shit when it's like, women, you're a part of this cycle too. You're on this planet too. So there are things that need to shape up in there, and there's things that need to shape up on our side. Yeah. But we don't get anywhere by looking at the extremes. Because here's the funny part. We gave one extreme, which is the fucking red pill guys. But then we got the super blue guys that are just I don't know what the fuck they are because they're
Oh,
not.
yeah, them niggas fold up and agree to everything just to those
Yeah, I
guys.
don't know what that
The
is.
panderers, they get y'all every time. And
Like,
then
what?
even with
The
the women's
Vanderers, they get you every time.
they do because
They do.
But,
But it never lasts. It never lasts, bro.
nah, never. You can't because you can't keep up a front for so long. And
Nope.
even on the women's side, you got the super shorties that just pander to dudes. That's like they call them the pick me. But then you got the women that men ain't shit, men ain't this, men ain't that. How can men be all these fucked up things, but you want a man? You put all right, perfect example. Let's just we can play hypotheticals. I'm a man looking for a woman. I see this girl that I think is fire, and I scroll down her timeline and all her posts about how men ain't shit. This is what I think a real man should do. Women do this. Women empowerment, independent women. Man, you think that's attractive to a me? That's like man repellent.
They're literally heads on pikes to men. Like, woo!
Whoa. Men ain't shit. Men ain't shit. This is why. This is what men should do. My baby daddy did this. This is how real men should be. I feel like real men should move like this.
And then you know what we do? We sit back and watch the guys that do respond to that shit. Eat popcorn and laugh.
And then they always end up because with all of this astute fucking observations, they always end up with the shittiest nigga on the block. Like, what happened? I thought this was the men supposed to do this, and you hold men to these standards and all. And this goofy nigga, because he don't got no job and he got time to pay you wild attention, that's why. Because at the end of the day, you're still a woman, so you move off of attention. That's just what it is. So you think that so ladies, it's the same equivalent of if you like a dude and then you go down his timeline and all you see is ass. You won't fuck with that dude, nigga. There's no
Posting
way.
About sex all day, every day. So all they talk about.
Yo, real shorty should bust it open. I need shorties to bust it open all day. Bust it down. You wouldn't fuck with that dude. It's the same equivalent. And when a man goes on your post, you might the best nigga in the world, and all he sees is real men do this. I think real men should do this, and we should.
Bro, it don't get no realer than like, listen, man. I love my wife. I'm so accountable and realistic. I'm like, woman, I love you. I don't live in those bubbles. It's like if you're wearing something, if you ask me if I don't like it, you're asking me if I don't like it. I'm not willing to lie to appease the situation if you're asking me, do I like it? So what I do is I say, do you like it? Let's start there. Now, if you go beyond me asking you, do you like it? Because I'm down for it if you like it. But if you don't understand what I'm doing right there, and then you ask me again, do I like it? Well, now you're asking for my honest opinion, and I can say yes or no. I'm not saying shit just to appease the situation, because now you're talking about my preference. And I'm not, that's what I'm talking about when people get too loose with this shit. It's like, yo, like, okay, let me give another example. Like, it's weird to see these situations where I see so many people that are the thought leaders in this space on having relationships, and they're not in one.
Word.
They have no relationship. They have no longevity. They have no history of commitment. They have no history of anybody committing to them. Why are these the people that you would listen to?
Exactly. And on top of that, like, it's filling voids. Like we talked about the stars and the black holes, you're filling voids. Ladies, if you're one of them ladies that work 700 hours, you're not doing that to take care of your kids. You're doing that to fill a void. You're hurt. Anybody who buries themselves in work, you're working to fill a void. It has nothing to do with monetary gain. You don't want to be at home with your thoughts, so you keep yourself busy.
And guess what? What do you think men have been doing? Men have been burying themselves in their work forever.
That's across all genders. That's across all genders.
But I'm talking about before. Yes, it is across all genders. Absolutely. But I'm talking about, the world before everybody entered the workforce.
Word. Yeah,
so the world before everybody entered the workforce, you might think that motherfuckers was happy being the earners and providers and all of that shit then. No, nigga, these niggas was buried their head in it because they couldn't go home because they still couldn't communicate back then. People have to remember before we applied all these labels and all of these things that are concepts are already issues in society.
They exist.
Shit is not new. They existed. It's just that we like to focus on the extremes of them and not the people that are. It's just like politics. We got two extremes again, and we need something down the middle. We know this as a country. We need something down the middle. But we're not in that space. It's a microcosm and a fractal of what we're going through in our what I see in the White House, and niggas be talking about that online, I see on the corner out here.
Word. It's the same thing.
It's the same shit.
All different. Like
it's a fractal, guys.
Yes. What if you genuinely love your? Yeah, if you love your job and you love what you do, that's cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool. But here's also the thing. What I'm saying is this. You can love your work, but life is about balance. Like me, I love going to the gym. Everybody knows that. I made it my work. That's my shit. I can't go to the gym 24 hours a day because it is not sustainable.
Got you.
I have to rest. I have to. I have to you got to give yourself time to recover because you're going to burn out. If I go to the gym 7 days a week and then for 2 hours a day and I don't rest, I'm going to burn out. At some point, I'm going to crash. And when I do crash, it's going to be nasty.
There's variables to that too. Because okay, if I'm a single person and I don't have any ambitions of a family, because there's plenty of people like that right now. There's plenty of people opting out of children, everything right now. And you're burying yourself in your work.
It up.
Some people say they love their job because it's all they have.
Yeah.
Okay. But if I'm a person with I can love my job all I want. I love what I do for work. I love what I work for myself. Like, it's a blessing to be in this space while I'm working in offshore wind industry, doing all the cool shit I never thought I'd be doing, living at 38, all this shit. So it doesn't mean anything because at the end of the day, I love my family more. So even though I love what I do, the reason I love what I do is because it gives me the ability to have fun with my family. So it does depend on situations and but I still think overall, just my opinion, overall, anybody who's just completely buried themselves in work end up on the deathbed like Steve Jobs was at the end.
Yeah,
thinking about the time they missed with conversations and dialogue with just everyday people.
Steve Jobs loved his work.
He loved it.
That wasn't his life. He died sick, and with his kids hating him, his family, his kids disliked him. Everybody in his family did not fuck with him because nigga, that iPhone was the most important thing in his life, and he discarded everybody and everything around him to get to that iPhone. Now, did he do it? Yes, the fuck he did.
He did.
It's like I just watched Oppenheimer.
It all comes with a price. It all comes with a price.
I just watched Oppenheimer. I watched the shit. Oppenheimer, ill dude, physicist. Once he got picked to make the bomb, that was his life, and his home life was in shambles. Now, did he create the bomb? Did he change the world? Yes, but at what cost? That his wife didn't fuck with him, his kids didn't fuck with him, nobody fucked with him. The people closest to him, that when he was done doing that work and he needed, because the thing about work is it don't last. You don't work forever. So at some point you got to set yourself up for when this shit is done, where am I going to go find solace with? I need to find solace with somebody. I need to find people, because at the end of the day, but I'm talking about a lot of people are working because of to avoid the other parts of their life. They're literally working to avoid other parts of their life. Like, these are the same people that be like, my kid is my man.
Yeah.
No, he's not. That's your fucking
he's not.
kid.
It's your kid.
It's your kid. That's not your man. That's not your boyfriend. That's not none of that. Your kid, that's your kid. Yes, you're using that to avoid, because you still have trauma when it comes to relationships. You still have trauma. Like, I know a shorty right now, her last boyfriend, she basically took care of. So now everything that she frames, anytime it comes with dealing with a dude, it's, do I have to take care of you? Do I look? So yeah, I don't want to have to take care of no nigga. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I don't. Nigga, that's him. That was just that one bum ass nigga you met. Like,
Hold
take
on.
it. Now it's about being accountable.
Yes, there you go.
Say I took care of this one bum ass
nigga.
And this one bum ass nigga costed me da 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 da. And because I didn't see the play, I don't trust myself to make those types of decisions. Don't put it on men. Because I can tell you right now, I have been with some of the shorties I've been with, and ain't even the shit on them because I don't do that. Let's just say our relationship wasn't superior.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, these relationships weren't superior, so let me figure out how to navigate that shit so I don't end up in the same predicament because I know if these triggers get hit, I'm gonna be right back in there. I don't say women ain't shit. No, you should never talk foul about somebody you was with because you was with them.
You chose that. That was your choice, bro.
You chose that. And if you stayed with them for a long period of time, nigga, that means you chose it.
Y'all ready?
You saw it and was like, yo.
Woo, y'all ready? Because I had this conversation with my wife the other day, and I said, listen to me. My conversation is not just warning my daughters about boys. My conversation is warning my daughter about her own accountability for her body because her body has to bear that child if she runs into that situation. So it's not just like, I'm not going to give her the capability of feeling victimized by saying, this young man had sex with me. You have to lay down and make that decision, and you have to be the smartest one in the entire equation because you are going to be affected the most.
Yeah, you gotta, the saying says, no matter where you go, there you are. Which means no matter where you go or what you do, nigga, you take you with you.
Everywhere.
Right? So, dog, anything that I've ever done in my life, the person it affected the most is me. Whether it was good or it was bad, I felt the person that was with me might have caught some of the effects, but I felt the full effect of it. Whether it was good or bad. Well, any decision I made, I faced the full brunt of it. Whether it was good or bad. The person I chose to be with, I faced the full brunt of it, whether it was good or bad.
Correct.
Like, people got to understand that when we dealing with, appreciate you, Rob, when we dealing with, make sure, when we done, hit the YouTube, subscribe. We're going to put the link in there.
Subscribe, share, too. Let people know about everything. Yes, sir.
When we dealing with this accountability thing, that I think a lot of people, it's easy to say he fucked up or he was fucked up or she was fucked up. Okay. You knew that. And you still chose to, now you either thought that you could, okay, don't get it fucked up. I'm not disillusioned. Yes, people present different versions of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just said, you can only front for so long. So once that version stops being that version, it's okay to leave, nigga. As soon as somebody do some shit you ain't signed up for, be like, yo, I ain't signed up for that, nigga. That's you doing that? Oh, get the fuck out of here, B. It's like if I meet a shorty and, you know what I'm saying, I meet a shorty and she fucking steals. And I don't know she steals. For the first 3 months, 6 months, everything is valid.
Everything fine.
100, nigga. And then I let her in my crib, month 7, and my fucking PS5 go missing.
Like, nigga, you took the what?
I'm gonna go. And then I find out it's her. I can't fuck with you no more, shorty. Like, it's over. You took the PS deuces. You took the PS5.
He took the PS5, nigga.
You steal.
You
not gonna be like, oh, you stole and now my bad. You ain't never gonna. Damn, you fucked up. You ain't gonna steal next time. Yes, you are. You're gonna steal again.
Steal.
Even if you don't steal next time, I can't fuck with that. You just stole.
And every time anything disappears, I could have lost my keys, nigga. I think it's you. You did.
That was fucked up. Because anytime anything disappear, it's gonna be me and you now. Yo, you're gonna be the first person I call. Yo, my keys is missing. Shorty, did you take them?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. You're a thief. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think a lot of times it's our ego, right? We think that you can love a person through it. Like, no, you can't, dog. Some shit you can't, dog. But motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't matter. Like, soon as they, and I'm not saying like have a ill cutoff switch, but if somebody show you who they are and who they are don't jive with who you are, why the fuck would you stay there?
Yo, like, I don't understand. You go to a job, you got a probationary period, right?
Yes.
All right, nigga, your relationships and friendships should be the same way. You got to establish. And the important part is in that probationary period of establishing a new relationship or a new friendship is asking the qualifying questions.
Yeah. Like, dog.
Now, don't be an idiot and think that they have to answer everything simpatico to you, but you should know what your lines in the sand are. Let me give an example. If you are dealing with somebody who has a child, right? A man who has a child. Let's just give me an example. I'm gonna use myself as an example. There were times when shorties was dealing with me, right? And I already knew what time it was because they never asked me where's my kids at.
Right.
So I know what time it is based on you not having pre-qualifying questions, knowing that I'm a baby daddy out here. Now, if you lay down with me, of course I'm accountable for myself, but where are you not accountable for knowing I'm a baby daddy? You ain't seen no babies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That too.
Are you signing up to be on the team? Because again, pre-qualifying questions, having conversation. You know what I mean?
It's even here's a good one for men. Men, if you date a girl and this girl has no friends, no long-term friends. Like if you notice that she keeps switching friend groups, she don't have a friend that could be like, girl, we was banging since high school. Buyer beware, nigga. Because that means that she don't know how to foster she don't know how to hold relationships there. But even if it's her friends, she don't know how to be a friend. Anybody at that, never mind.
Yeah, men too.
I just say it from that point.
But I will say this though, men are known to, and the reason why I think this is, I don't want to say gender specific, but
different. Like we be fucking
correct.
Cool.
We be nomads, nigga. Yeah,
like cool. Like I ain't talked to my nigga in 6 months, and I call him and we pick up. Yo, you good?
Correct. It's different with us. Yeah. But like tight knit girls are tight knit girls.
Yeah, they talk every day.
You feel me?
Day. About everything.
So yeah, that's true.
Like, but I think that when we dealing with what we dealing with, as far as being accountable, like the PTSD, all of these things, like I think that as far as men go, like we just gotta. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? It's tougher than people know. We just don't say it because at the end of the day, it's like sometimes like nobody really gives a fuck. And the people that do give a fuck is few and far between. Because everybody fake give a fuck. Everybody acts like they care.
Yeah. That's social media. Yeah.
Tell me how you feel. Then I tell you how I feel. And it's like, well, now you want to fight. It's like, all right, man. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think that even with the men, like we just had the shit where we talk about men being friends. That's another stat. Do you know that men are the loneliest we've ever been in the history of life?
Ever.
I'll say that again. Men are the loneliest we've ever been in the history of life. I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about friend groups. Men being friends with men. Men on men friendships are the weakest they've ever been.
Completely. And I would argue that some of that is because they steeped their energy in the wrong areas and they lost the ability to communicate directly with each other as men.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of men have too much. A lot of men lead pride first. A lot of men think that
but here's the
being,
okay, let me
being a friend means you agree with them.
Okay, let me double, because I would actually say the ones that, yes, I feel you. So, but like, here's the thing with pride, though, right? Because I would even take a person that's prideful because that person has enough pride to speak up. We have men that will feel a way, not say they feel a way, move like they feel a way, but never address why they feel a way. And I'm trying to roundabout say that I'm more used to this from like, I've been out the game a while, guys. I've been married. I've been with my wife 12 years. But when I was it feels like you're courting a girl sometimes. Like you're not dealing with guys that should be able to say, bro, because like, look it. I'm not saying this is healthy. But we did come up in a generation where it's like, all right, worst case scenario, we came up in the hands generation. So like,
yeah, we could fight.
For example, we fought our cousins, nigga, like our cousins. Like we go throw it at the park real quick. We're friends in a half an hour. I remember when we stopped throwing as cousins because we used to say to each other, like, bro, we're just gonna be friends in an hour. This shit's stupid.
Yeah,
like,
bro,
let's chill.
I fought my cousins. I fought some of my homies. I fought like nigga, but we don't never fight in public. Like we gonna shake whoever, we gonna fight the enemies outside. Correct. But then when we get home, I'm gonna be like, nigga.
Oh, for a fact, we gotta take a walk, bro. You just put me in all that shit.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Nah. Did you do that?
Yeah, you can't put me in all that shit, bro. Like, damn.
So I think that as far as being friends, like it to a certain degree, men also we really don't. And the way we befriend people is different, but then it's like, yo, I ask sometimes, like, do we know how to be friends to some degree, right? Because
what I'm concerned with is some of this feels outside of what we're used to, and I think some of this is just because the climate, generally speaking, in my opinion, just looking at like social media, how the world is moving, is that we used to want to be friends based on general interest, things like that. But a lot of this shit is just wanting to be friends to come up off each other now.
Yeah. A lot of cool. Trust me, a lot of people want to be friends because it's like, okay, I see something moving, and I want to be attached to that train type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like so. Yeah, it's not genuine. It's not genuine.
When it's like, yo, you know what's even crazy about the come up dynamic? If we listen, I tell all my friends, me and you just we had a conversation about, we realized, okay, well, now we're starting to really become friends. Like, this is funny because like we're talking about shit that we're practicing behind the scenes on our own. And we had a quick 2 seconds. Yo, this is what my expectation of that is. This is I'm gonna tell you, like, I tell everybody, if you want to befriend me, you can't tell me what you want, what your dream is. Don't tell me that shit. Because I'm gonna push the shit out of you, bro.
Make sure
I'm
you
gonna push the shit out of you. I'm
gonna push you. Yeah. We had a quick conversation about that. Yeah, you told me, you was like, listen, my nigga, this what we doing. I'm about to annoy the shit out of you. I was like, all right,
just telling you, bro. I think you're talented. I know what you want to do. And if you tell me that, I expect it and believe it. And as my friend, like, I believe you.
When you said, yo, I'm gonna annoy the shit out of you, I said, I expect it. I expect it. That's it. And in fact, sir, that's what you're supposed to do. We want to keep it all the way a buck, but I think that
I also, hold on, the last part I put in there too was I can be, because I'm, whether you want to chalk it up to be, because I'm not into zodiac, but people keep saying you're like that because you're an Aries, fine. Or I'm a guy that went through extreme accountability.
Good old zodiac.
Good old more Greek shit. Anyway.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Like, stop
I hate these people, bro. Anyway,
stop blaming the alignment of the stars while you're
leave the stars alone, nigga.
Nothing to
but even if it's like a derivative of just the development of who I've become over time, I just feel like extreme transparency in my relationships has been built the strongest bond so far. So like, I like to just get it out the way. So one of the things, the other thing that we talked about too is like, just because this, I think this happens unintentionally. Sometimes you can be such a strong presence in a room that people can assume that they can't challenge your perspective.
Oh yeah.
I'm just loud, niggas. I'm just loud, niggas. That's all. Like, I'm just loud. I grew up in a Black and Latin community. Everything was loud, my nigga. Like, you don't gotta take none of that. Like, you can talk to me.
I think that happens too. People say, "Yo, you're an imposing figure," or whatever the case may be.
I'm normal, dog. This is my normal, dog.
Yeah. I'm normal, son.
Clubhouse red flag is 2024.
Yeah, like I'm normal.
But yeah, so I appreciate everybody being tuned in. We're getting to real complicated conversation, really taking our time because, like, yeah, we could talk about current events and we'll do that sometimes. But as you notice today, we stuck to some real, true human core topics. Yeah. And as being the topic that it is, I would at least like to say that I hope that we accomplish the goal of practicing what we preach in this conversation, talking about men being more transparent and creating dialogue. And I want to say I appreciate the women who were tuned in today that conversed with us and had a dialogue with us, because that's actually what we need to practice more of in our social circles to be able to, and our brothers that tapped in with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do this more.
Yeah, so like, share, you know what I'm saying? We're going to put the YouTube link in the comments, I believe. So you can share that to the people.
Yes.
This is what we do twice a week. We in the multiverse, man. You know what I'm saying?
Head on over. Check us out. We got all kind of dope stuff happening, man.
Yeah. We got cool podcast. Listen, man. In the multiverse, we got podcasts for your podcast. You heard? Like, listen, man. We got us. You're gonna see us twice a week. Then you got
Smart Spot Monkeys and Super Kicks, the wrestling pod with Sean Pump. I know it's hella long. It took me a while to figure it out. We got the ladies coming with a show real soon.
We got the ladies pulling up with a show.
They're gonna be getting into it. We got the sports show starting at the end of this month with Galen and John on their team. So we're gonna have a lot of difference going on. And just for you to understand, the overall goal here is we're focused on providing quality content and dialogue from every different multiverse that we have going on here, and then we're gonna drag our crowd over to our own digital streaming provider. We're creating our own platform, the Multiverse Podcast Network. So we're just utilizing all of this to get people to understand where we're going and understanding that the power is in us to use these as billboards to drive people to our direct-to-consumer platform.
Once we get our direct-to-consumer platform, there will be all types of shit, merch, everything. So tap in. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. We here.
Yes, sir. So we see you next time. Hey, yo, check us out Wednesday. Be on the lookout out for us, man. We appreciate y'all, man. Exponent, we're the God's Pod.